Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Night Live. It's been a long week since I've seen you all. The last live, hasn't it? Allie, welcome. Sydney, Aaron, welcome. Daryl, welcome. Yes, 33 is a good number. It's a master number. Lisa Cruz, what's up? What's going on? And have to say hello to my wonderful mod, Nina. She does amazing. She's kind. She takes care of you all when I'm not looking. Katie D, welcome. And as you all know, wait for more people to trickle in. I can't see who is watching. I only see who is chatting. So for those who are also entering the room, welcome. Unfortunately, this will be the last live before December because, of course, next week is Thanksgiving. So I will not be doing a live during Thanksgiving because I will be giving thanks. So, of course, I won't see you guys until December, which will be the holidays. And maybe I'll change the backdrop to something festive. Who knows? We'll be surprised. Blondie7, welcome. David Cruz, welcome. Emberg, welcome. Tommy Garassi, welcome. Good to see you. Let's wait for more people to trickle on in. I try to warn people on Instagram to come on over here. I have some clients who thought I stopped doing my lives because they didn't realize I was doing it on YouTube. But I don't know how, because I've been making it very obvious and clear that I'm doing it on YouTube. It's everywhere. Rashida, welcome. I know I kind of intended to scare you just a little bit. Noel, welcome. Here for the party. It's right. Party on, party people. Let's get this party started. It's funny, you know what? That song was in my head, Noel, before I was starting the live. I was like, party on, party people, let me hear some noise. You know, whatever song that was from the 90s. God, I forget what that was. Those of you who are new, we were doing live readings. As you can see here, $15 for a card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions. The PayPal and Venmo links are in the description. So get those in now. I do have one already to start from Elevate Holistic Healing. I haven't forgotten about you. You will be first, as well as Daryl will be second. You guys got yours in beforehand. Michelle Wright, welcome. And so we'll get to those. We'll start with the collective reading first, and then we will get into the topic, which is karmic debts. So a lot of you guys know I talk about karmic lessons and so forth from our past lives, carrying on into this lifetime. And so what do I mean by karmic debts? Well, things that we have not accomplished and things we haven't paid forward from previous lifetime, we carry over in this lifetime. So we'll get into that, what that means, and the different variables of karmic debts and so forth, and what that looks like. So that will be the discussion. And guys, remember, even though, you pay for your questions, and that's kind of a little bit of the service here, feel open to ask any general question in the chat. So anything related to the topic, please do not hesitate to throw that in there, because it's great to open for discussion and conversation, as is the point of that too. Janet, welcome. Sydney Aaron, welcome. You had a crazy past life reading yesterday. Excited for this topic. That's interesting. I'd love to hear about it. Let's shuffle these cards. All right, let's shuffle these cards for the collective reading. Let me change this overlay over here to the collective reading. Of course, I'm the person doing all the tech, so you have to bear with me as I change the banners and yada, yada, yada. Let's shuffle these cards and see what's going on here with the collective. I looking back at every collective read every week, it's been interesting how it's almost like a soap opera. The collective reads kind of carry on from each life and from each live. And I've been noticing too, other spiritualists kind of having the same themes, because last time was about like letting go of past relationships and past circumstances. And I've seen a lot of other spiritualists that were kind of mentioning the same thing shortly after. Are they copying me? I'm not big enough yet, but I just think we're all in sync. And that's kind of been the theme lately of letting go past relationships, as well as relationships that have been taking from us. So, Andrea George, welcome. Okay, still shuffling, and my cards are very old. I went back to using my ordinary, typical tarot because I figure the photos when I show them, are more, I would say, identifiable than my trendy ones because they just don't look clear. They're just more trendy. So I figured for this live we'll use my older cards, and boy are they stubborn. Okay, this might be a positive message because I keep seeing these similar cards kind of shuffling through, but okay. Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to shuffle. I have to wait till they're ready. That's part of the process here. And that's part of being live with this. Okay. I think we're ready here. All right. Let's see what the cards say. Let me pull. Okay. I need some clarifications on this. Shuffle the oracles. A lot of you guys are going through a suspended feeling. Now, I am seeing cards are dropping, so let me get that. That's very important. They tend to fall out a lot. The masculine. Got you. Okay, I see what you're saying here. Some of you guys have been taking heed. So I'll say this. From the last live, Christopher Witecki, welcome. Welcome aboard. Michelle Ball, welcome. Some of you guys have actually been taking heed from the last live. I've sensed a lot of you in the room have actually made those severance and of those ties or those relationships that have been not serving you. So now the thing is, when you get rid of something that is comfortable, especially if it's something that's not good for you, you can still remain comfortable in something that's good for you. I would say the uncomfortable, comfortable feeling. So when you get rid of that paradigm of that past and the past patterns, past energy, the past relationships, you might start feeling very uncomfortable. Like, what do I do now? What's happening now? I feel kind of floating. I feel suspended. That's a good energy because, you know, if you're releasing an anchor, and I feel like a lot of you in this relationship, in this room, in this relationship, in our relationship, in the orgy of a relationship, a lot of you guys in this room have definitely released a lot of these past circumstances. And so the weird thing about that is, you know, it feels good, but it feels light, like you're floating, like you're suspended. But that's the point. That is actually a reflection of how much that has been anchoring you guys down. So if you feel suspended and uneasy, that is just a side effect of feeling lighter. You're floating a little bit. And I like to say life suspended. And life suspended is definitely, you know, correlates to a spiritual awakening. And so, you know, the masculine card came up in the oracle card, in the oracles in conjunction to the tarot, basically saying that a lot of you guys have your divine masculine out of balance. And so what does divine masculine really mean? In my perspective, the divine masculine is the protection aspect of our beings, is a supportive aspect of our beings, is the setting boundaries and the independent aspect of our beings. That's the divine masculine. So many of you guys have had your divine masculine slightly out of balance. Which means is the divine feminine has been very active, overactive, as I would say. And that means you guys have been very nurturing, very empathetic, you know, very sensitive, all that stuff. That the divine masculine out of balance means you haven't been setting the proper boundaries and parameters. So now is the time to start setting those boundaries and parameters in your life of what you know that you need to get and guard yourself against and what you should be welcoming on in. That is the divine masculine, as well as protecting your energy, protecting your emotional, physical, and spiritual space in your life. That is divine masculine, as well as being a supportive role for you and allowing support in your environment to be encompassed in your energy. That is divine masculine. So you guys need to be very focused. Bring in the balance of your divine masculine. We get it. You're empathetic. We get it. You love hard. We get it. You care. But start redirecting that into the divine masculine aspect of setting proper boundaries, protecting the self, nurturing the self, finding the independent sovereignty of your being. I mean, it's interesting that, you know, I don't usually show the cards because I'm not a tarot reader, but they've just been a guide. But, you know, it's funny that, well, it came this way first, the masculine and the sovereignty, because really kind of that's where you find your sovereignty of your being, is through the divine masculine. And you got to find that balance. And, you know, the unexpected came with the loss in reverse. So, you know, even though you might have lost those relationships or gotten rid of those relationships, you kind of, you know, you're not in loss. You understand, you can feel the unexpected in a positive sense, that you know that this is the right direction, the right path to go into by releasing that anchor. So it feels like a loss, but it really doesn't. It feels like, again, there could be an emptiness. And so don't be afraid of that emptiness, even though, you know, that emptiness is a silence where you're forced to listen to yourself and hear yourself. Because that is the position that you need to be in, is to hear yourself in that silence. Stop avoiding it. You know, a lot of times when we have the loss, or we've lost a loved one, we've lost a relationship, or we've lost a circumstance, whatever it may be, we're afraid to sit in that silence because we're afraid of what it's going to tell us, what we're going to say to ourselves. So we block that with distortion, we block it out with noise. Don't do that. I'll be the divine masculine parent. Don't do that. Allow yourself, and I've said this before, to hear yourself, to listen to yourself. let yourself tell yourself where you need to be, okay? Let the soul speak for you. And again, don't be afraid of the unexpected. The unexpected should be very, very exciting for you. It should be an open opportunity, a blank canvas, so to speak, for you to go in the direction you want to go in. And of course, as I'm showing to you, the unexpected and the realization, it's through the unexpected you will actually find the realization of self and your preferences and what you're wanting within, and actually realize the true expression of your soul. So please, guys, I know a lot of guys might be in fear of that silence or that emptiness, but it's through that emptiness you're allowing more to come through. You've cleared out that space. You're welcoming you're welcoming actually a different energy in to fill the space, to fill the time and space of your lives. So do so. And a lot of guys might have been in hermit mode, but we're saying to get out of it. Understand that, when you are in the isolation mode, and a lot of times these past circumstances, past relationships might have put you in isolation mode because of the fear of the unknown, the fear of what's on the other side of that. It's time to just be more open now and more vibrant in your being, and allow yourself to connect and allow yourself to engage with life. And I always say engage with life because many times we stop engaging with life. We just end up thinking all the time. And because of things that we want to do might be out of reach per se, that's an illusion too. We don't engage, so we keep it out of reach. The only way to get it in our reach is to engage with our lives and to engage with things that we already have going on, because you may not perceive of how things are going to manifest in your future, but when you're engaging with the things that you have now in your life, you'll be, I would say, surprised of how these little behaviors, these little decisions that you make will lead to a completely different path, completely different realization of things, different connections of people, circumstances, yada, yada, yada. Life unfolds in a different way in that momentum. So get out of the isolation mode. And it doesn't mean that you have to go out to the bars. It means that you're actually allowing yourself to be more open. You're allowing yourself to be less restrictive of your energy because you set the proper boundaries. When you set the proper boundaries for yourself energetically, psychologically, spiritually, you don't have to be in fear of moving forward or engaging because you've already set the parameters. And that gives you the discernment to select who you want to be around, who you want to associate with, what do you want to associate, what environment you want to be in. So that discernment will lead you there, and you won't have to protect yourself or be afraid of opening up because you've identified what you need to set the boundaries about, and you'll be clear about the energy of the past. You'll see that in another very, very quickly, very easily. You'll smell it a mile away, right? Like, oh no, that's a loser over there. Oh no, that's a cheater over there. You can smell it, you can identify it. You can easily maneuver around those things. So don't let the fear of the unknown stop you from being open. And understand the lightness you feel could be uncomfortable because you got so used to the heaviness. When you let go of that heaviness, you're actually realizing how much more time you have to spend with yourself. And a lot of times that scares a lot of people. Don't let that scare you. Embrace that. That's where the momentum starts. That's where the information of the soul starts to resurrect. That's where the clarity comes about what to do to manage your future. That's where the insight of how to get it done manifests, is through that realization and hearing yourself. Okay? Once more, I think there's a second part to this. Go figure. Because last time was the second part, but I feel like I could pull again, and I don't want to be too long-winded about this. Rochelle, welcome. Renee, welcome. Whoever I haven't seen come in, welcome. I'm just slowly catching up on the chat. So understand, the lightness might be uncomfortable for those of you who have been in heaviness for quite some time. You guys have probably gotten so comfortable with heaviness. And a lot of people fear about getting rid of the heaviness because they feel like they will be feeling that empty feeling. But it's not empty, it's light. You have more time, more space, more energy to create, figuratively speaking. And we can kind of be, literal on that too, especially if you remove someone from your physical space. Elisa, welcome. So allow yourselves to sit in that silence. Enjoy the silence, as Simon Garfunkel would have said. Okay, we're just pulling up for the second half of this, and then we'll get into the topic as well. Oh, thanks, Christopher. I like to switch it up. Okay. Interesting read on this. Interesting read. I love the second part of this. Now it makes sense why there's a second part to this. When you guys stop fighting against things, I'm going to be general on that. When you guys stop fighting against all the negative circumstances, we'll call it that. When you guys stop fighting against things that are unmanageable, when you stop fighting against things that are out of your control, and you say, this is out of my control, I'm going to leave the situation, and you stop focusing on all the things you're depriving yourself of, because we talked about deprivation and the deprivation filters last week. When you stop looking at what has gone wrong and trying to fix what's gone wrong, you actually miss out on the opportunities that will be coming to you. I say this a lot. When we're always in our heads and we're going throughout our day, and I always love to use the example that, say you're thinking about a relationship that's gone wrong, that you can't fix, and you're in your head about it, and you're in the grocery store, you're in your head, you're not paying attention to your surroundings, and there's a person that's checking you out. Well, because you're in your head, you're not going to notice them, so you move past them, and they follow you through an aisle, and because you're so frustrated and stressed out, they're kind of trying to hit on you, you kind of brush it off and get irritated and walk away, missing out of what could potentially have been the love of your life, per se. Because you're in your head, you're focusing on what you don't have, you're missing out on opportunities. Now, take the same situation, say you're free-spirited, you're open, you're clear, you're not anchored down by anything. You walk into the grocery store, you're kind of aware of your surroundings, you catch the person that is giving you that kind of glare in their eyes and checking you out, and you mingle with it. So many of you are missing out on your opportunities because you're so saturated about what has gone wrong. You're oversaturated what has gone wrong, dwelling in it. You can't fix what has gone wrong. That's already done. But some of you guys still dwell in that. So when you release that, and you release those anchors, as we were just saying, you'll then start seeing those opportunities that have been around you this whole time. So you don't have to make such massive changes other than opening your perception of reality. Okay? Because releasing those anchors will do that. Because that's what's really blocking you guys in manifesting your relationships, is that, basically. So be aware about that and understand, what are you processing? Are you so focused on what has gone wrong that you're not looking outside and allowing yourself to expand from it and to evolve from it? Because that's a choice. Look at this. I mean, I just love this. Protection, self-reflection, then attraction. I mean, could these be right on point to what I was just saying? Through your self-reflection, you can actually protect your energy, and you look within yourself. You understand. You're self-reflective of what you've been doing wrong, per se. And you allow yourself to grow. Then you start attracting new things in your life. I love that the attraction card came last. You start being attracted to different individuals, different circumstances, and vice versa. And they become attracted to you. So let's get on it. That was a long collective read, but it was necessary. And it was actually a really good... I would say follow-up from the last collective read. All right. What's going on in the chat over here? Lori, welcome. Chris, welcome. And who else did I miss that came in the chat while I was yapping away? All you all, just hello. We'll just say that. Hello to everybody who's welcomed entered into the room. Okay, let's get into the topic. Which is karmic debts. Okay. Now, as you all know, I'm a huge advocate, and just guys, get your questions in now, because right after the discussion, I will be taking the questions. Again, $50 for a card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions. I don't know if I actually have to log in too, and then we'll be doing live readings after the discussion. And the PayPal Venmo link is in the bio. And I have Katie, which I believe is Elevate Holistic Healing is first, and Daryl's second as well. Okay, karmic debts. Now, I'm a big advocate in saying that we have karmic lessons from previous lifetimes. So whatever we have experienced in the previous lifetime that we didn't resolve, we carry on in this lifetime. So and people always ask me, what is the karmic lesson? How do I identify a karmic lesson? I always say, whatever theme, a consistent theme you have in your life is your karmic lesson. Now, karmic debts, those are usually things that I like to identify as punishments, I would say, or things we have to pay forward. So, for example, if you did something very negative in a previous lifetime, Say, for example, we'll take an example that you maybe bullied. We'll do something very two-dimensional. Maybe you bullied people in past lifetime and you gave people a very hard time. We'll just be very general and simple about it. This lifetime, you have to pay that forward now. So which means you might run yourself rampant doing charity work, doing things to support bullies, paying it forward. The wonderful thing about karmic debts is you have a natural desire to do that. And so a lot of people will be doing a lot of favors for people or helping a lot of people out, and nothing's coming in return to them because they're almost paying a karmic debt of what they've done in a previous lifetime that deprived people. So they're paying the debt forward of saying, okay, I'm giving, I'm helping, I'm assisting. That's why a lot of times people do all that and nothing comes back to them. Of course, there are other variables as far as being ignorant and just helping people because you're not having self-worth. There's also a variable of that a lot of times if you realize you're helping people and giving to people, nothing is actually coming back to you, you're paying karmic debts. So that's a good thing. That's why there's a desire to do so. There also could be a karmic debt to where you've been victimized or you've actually victimized someone in a previous lifetime. You have to pay the debt forward of being victimized yourself. And it usually happens in the beginning of our lives when we're paying a karmic debt. That usually happens very early on. There's also variables too that we would choose a karmic lesson through any type of trauma, but a lot of times we also are experiencing trauma because we're paying a karmic debt based on something we've also inflicted upon another. So we have to understand the difference of the two. Now, a karmic lesson is also can be synonymous with a karmic debt because both are there to help us to evolve. Both are there to allow us to expand. Both are there to realize the power that we do have on the soul level. So, but when you understand and see a repetition of something that you're doing, that you're giving without getting anything in return, that's usually you paying a karmic debt. Or if you constantly feel privied to being, a victim to something in your life, you're paying a karmic debt. But through that karmic debt will manifest a karmic lesson. And that karmic lesson can then allow you to get out of the karmic debt and satisfy the karmic debt, especially if you've already paid it forward. And when you learn the karmic lesson, you allow yourself to pay that forward in a different, I would say, perspective, to then allow yourself to evolve, which then, of course, feeds a different energy to the collective, which takes care of the karmic debt. So although they can be very similar, karmic debt and karmic lesson, it's very important to understand many people have to pay things forward by their actions. But I always say if you really kind of dive deep into looking about karmic lessons, you'll end up paying those debts in a more positive fashion. You have more control over that. So I see many people who've incarnated and lived their lives I'm just watching paying karmic debts back. And they're doing it. And, but when they become conscious of that, they can turn it into a karmic lesson, evolve, and completely change that paradigm and give back to the collective. Okay? Because I've always said this about karmic lessons too, or any type of karmic debts, especially when it correlates to the New Age communities today, in this day and age, is that, when people are trying to manifest something or to attract something by the law of attraction and it's not happening, they have to identify there could be a karmic lesson they are not learning. And in order to get what they want, they need to resolve the karmic lesson or pay the karmic debt in order to get what they want, which is why many people will affirm with the law of attraction or affirm with manifestation to no result. Is because your karmic lessons and your soul drives everything, dictates everything. No matter how much you focus on a law, how much you focus on visualization. So that's why it's very important to do the soul searching and to identify and to be conscious about what is going on in your life and the consistencies of what's happening both in the positive and the negative to identify what your true purpose is. What lessons that you have, if you've been paying karmic debts and maybe you're overpaying the karmic debts because you're not realizing the terms of the karmic lesson behind it, right? So this will help things to progress in your life and things to evolve in your life. And also understand why you have chosen to be on the trajectory that you are on. Because we've all got to, I would say, view our trajectories before incarnating. And so we knew what we were signing up for and getting into. A lot of times people pay a karmic debt in the sense of they will allow their souls to be a sacrificial, good shepherd energy and incarnate and be a part of a major tragedy to help to also, one, to take their karmic debt forward, but two, to also help the collective to evolve through that tragedy. And there's also that will align with the tragedy because, one, they have a karmic debt to pay because they've maybe inflicted the same tragedy upon another in a previous lifetime, and they have to pay that forward because they're karmic debt too. But others will choose to do that, actually to be a sacrificial, spirit, good shepherd energy, so they can actually help the collective. There's a lot of different variables. And I say this because a lot of people say, well, if we choose our lives before incarnating, why do people choose such horrible lives or choose such disastrous circumstances. And I say simply because we as a spirit, as a soul, want to evolve, and we'll do that by any means, looking at our physical lives. Things don't happen by chance. We live in a cause and effect reality, as I always say, even on the spiritual level. So identify the patterns in your life and understand the lesson that is behind that, and evolve from it, to grow from it, to change it, and to put out a different essence into the collective, which then, of course, wipes the karma clean. So when you pass on in this life, and you get to choose the next life experience without having to be pushed into a cycle that you don't want to experience yet again. And here's a message to light workers. As we come close, I have 4 more minutes to get into live readings. With light workers, we have to be very careful of who we want to heal. So healers out there, we have to be careful of who we're trying to heal. If someone has a karmic lesson or debt to pay, say through an illness, and we go and heal them, we actually take the karmic lesson away from them, as my mic falls. We take the karmic lesson away from them, and they'll have to repeat it. So when you're, as a healer, trying to heal someone, you have to be very keen and intuitive enough to know if that illness is a karmic lesson, you'll have to help them through that spiritually, not taking the lesson away from them. I see that happen so much. And that just, we think we're helping here, but we're not helping. We're actually causing them more time and another, gap of learning their lesson, because we want to help them with their pain, that they'll have to just repeat the cycle once again. And I always say, it's like a butterfly emerging from a cocoon. A human will see the butterfly struggling through the cocoon, so the person will try to open the cocoon to help the butterfly out, and the butterfly dies. Because the butterfly has to push through that resistance to push out of that cocoon to emerge into the butterfly. So we as humans need to understand, when we think we're doing something good, we're just fucking things up. And we have to stop fucking things up because we think it's something good because of empathy. We have to be clear as intuitives if we're actually helping or we're just robbing someone of their karmic lesson, which means they'll just have to repeat it over again. It's very important as light workers that we understand this and we read someone's trajectory and their karmic history before we start dabbling in of just healing someone just because they're in pain. And if you tapped in, you realize someone actually has learned a karmic lesson. Now they have to just remove the behavior and just the pain as they elevate their behavior. Then that can be done. We can actually allow for the healing process. Okay, very layered when it comes to these things. And so many people just get into healing. I just want to heal people that are sick. They don't recognize the damage they're actually doing by not being conscious or aware of one's karmic debt or karmic lessons. We need to understand this as intuitives and as light workers, so we don't create more problems for the soul of the individual. Okay, so this work, we cannot be ignorant in this work as light workers either. So those in the room who are light workers need to be very aware of such. Okay, and that concludes my topic. Anyone have any questions about the karmic debt thing? Because I'm just reading things. I was thinking. Let me see this. I was thinking of this regarding the kids that died in Our Lady of the Angels Fire. The deaths prompted major successful change in schools that continue to. Yes, I mean, even the Parkland shooting, I was revisiting that trial, and all those families have been doing great change for security, to change our society, because we have to stop with the violence if we want to evolve, right? And so, I mean, a lot of those souls, again, paying karmic lessons, but also those that incarnated, knowing they could be a great influence. That's why a lot of these people died. They were amazing people in the physical life, a lot of them say, or they were like angels, because they were using their life as a sacrifice to be able to elevate and to bring awareness and to be part of a tragedy to help the collective. Those are beautiful souls, and they also could be paying karmic debt as well. So that's very true. Amnesia in heaven? No, there's no amnesia in heaven. However you want to call that, heaven, afterlife, higher perspective, fifth dimension, seventh dimension, whatever the case is, we don't have amnesia. We have memory of everything. We recount everything. We are it all. We are everything. We are all of our experiences. And I like to say that all of our past lives are encoded in our DNA. And I think in our DNA holds the memory of our existence, as well as information and data of source, of the Akashic records. I think there's so much within our DNA that we don't know, and so much encoded in our DNA from the spiritual and astral world that I think that we do possess in our DNA. And so there's no amnesia. None of it. Nope. What is this? What is this, Katie? What is this here? Cheese and rice. Wait, cheese and rice. My house is a karmic debt. That makes sense. I don't know. What are you talking about? And I think I have a card pull for you, Katie. I think it's you. Are you Elevate? Katie, are you Elevate Holistic Healing? Yeah, I mean, the Akashic Records is just basically what I say source. All that is, all the infinite intelligence in our existence. We say universe, but universe is physical. I'm talking about in existence. So that was the Akashic Records is. Anything you can think of, any type of knowledge or information exists in the Akashic Records, I call it source. So, all right, let's get to the questions here. Oh, wow, I didn't realize there was so much that came through. Okay, let's get here. Did anyone do... Wow, you guys... I'm sorry, guys. We're going to live readings. I didn't realize there was so much that came through. I had my notifications off. I'm sitting here thinking that you guys haven't done it, and there's so many questions here. So let's get to that. There we go. Okay, live reading time. All right. Let's see here. First, I have to go to... because I missed the last time Elevate. So we got a card pull for Elevate, and then I'll do that first, and then we'll get down to the questions, and then Elevate, you have 2 questions. We'll get to that too. So let's get on it. All right. Card pull for Elevate. I think that's Katie. Is that you, Katie? Are you Elevate? Thank you, Life Bites. Yes. It's, you know, my guides have been telling me about this, about like we just want to help that we end up not helping. You know, that we have to really understand the soul of the person and understand how to guide them. That's why we all need to be working together as light workers, because if a healer identifies someone who still has a karmic lesson, they should send them to an intuitive to work it out, right? And to heal in that aspect. And if I get somebody who's still carrying the physical pain from a past life, then, you know, I can direct to, and who's maybe completed their karmic lessons, in this lifetime, but just have the ailments of such and the behavioral patterns of such, just need to be healed of the physical ailments, then I can send them to a healer. So we all have to work together as light workers to understand how we're truly to be helpful and effective. You know, because our goal is that we're in this 3D world, we're designing a new planet. That's what we're doing. Through everything we don't like in this physical world and things we want to change, we actually are designing our own planet. So by doing so, we also have to make sure we're helping others to also evolve as well, who are on the cusp. But also being aware of such evolution is also necessary for us to have the true planet that we said that we want. Okay? So, but everything we're doing here is creating that planet so we can evolve to. And so, yeah, we are creators, but also creating our next dimensional experience as well. So, thank you for that. Thank you, Palace. I will be looking at that PayPal as well. This is for Katie, card pull. Okay. Katie, well, you seem to be wavering on things. And I think you're taking too much time deciphering direction. It feels like, I don't want to say you feel trapped. I feel like you feel bombarded by different ideas or different options. That's actually slowing things down instead of allowing yourself to just go with the flow on it. I think you primarily would understand what go with the flow is, because I feel like you're in tune already. But I feel like you're saying there's so many different outlets I can choose. I don't know. So you're saying stuck on that instead of saying to yourself what resonates with me. I think that, you know, you might be sensing there are a lot of maybe fraudulent people in the environment that you work in, and that's bothering you. So I would say the contemplation is not a bad thing. And I think that you're saying to yourself, I want to help people to understand that, you know, we're not all frauds in this space. Obviously you're a light worker. And so I think don't let that slow you down either. Understand what you are doing already is what you should be doing. Just keep growing with it. You don't have to slow yourself down to think that, well, are people going to misperceive me? Are people going to think I'm fraudulent? Because that slows you back. right? So understand, you have to keep pushing forward what you're doing because of people that don't believe. And I say I can relate to this. I've had a huge hang up because of my space, and I've talked about this before. People can't think outside the box, just think all psychics are frauds. And I'm like, well, not everybody wants to defraud people, right? And having to prove, because a lot of psychics that are known are fraudulent. So I have a lot to prove with this, especially because of the way I look, supposedly. And because I have other passions. But I said, well, screw that. I don't care what they think. I'm going to keep pushing on being consistent and push on through. And so that's what they're saying. Push on through what you're doing. Own it more. And understand, anybody who discounts anything isn't thinking outside the box and isn't using their full intellect. So why should they have any power of having any on this? Don't let that stop you and keep you trapped in what you know you should be doing. Okay? That's going to be a game changer for you. Right? So go hard or go home. Go hard with it. And we all have to. Every light work in the room, we have to go hard. We're not here for sensationalism. That's not what we're here for. We're here to make a difference and understand we are on the path in the next 5 years to where spirituality becomes the main essence of our reality, of our world. And so we're here to awaken that. The process has begun. The awakening has been happening slowly, right? And I said back in 2015, I wrote a song about the world is splitting into two and divulging. And we're starting to see that. Many people are just like in zombie states, just kind of falling out of reality. And others kind of pushing on through. And then you have people slowly waking up. And they're slowly identifying things and detaching from parts of our culture that we know have been holding us back. So we're in that process. But we have to push harder right now. And that's what's going to let the light shine through. Okay? And so, Katie, that is your job. Push through. Stop worrying about how people are going to appear, how people are going to process what you do, because there are many people that already believe in what you do that you need to help them. We're not here to help the cynics or the skeptics. That's their job to do their research. We're here to help those who need an awakening, and especially those who are on the fence. We need help with that too. All right, so push on forward. Okay, let me just log into PayPal because a lot of guys did Venmo. I'm not getting the notifications, so let me just log into PayPal because I'll make sure I go in order here. We'll turn off my Do Not Disturb so I can actually see. Bear with me, un momentos. Hope that makes sense, Katie, but also that is a good card pull for a lot of others as well. Okay? When did this come in? Outrage Entertainment card pull. This is for Outrage Entertainment. I don't know whoever Outrage Entertainment is in the room. This one's for you. Actually, let me shut this music off. Has this music been on for a while? Has it been too loud? Has it been distracting? I hope not. It's supposed to be on low, but I don't know. Sometimes I can't tell. All right. Thank you. And I see we have 2 questions for you too, Katie, that you did. So we'll get to that too. I'm just going to do it in a row. But that was because of last week I overlooked your card pull. But I think that it's good it happened tonight, Katie. Okay? This is for Outrage Entertainment. It doesn't say a name. So, okay, Leah Sturgis. Got it. Leah Sturgis. Okay, so Phallus, that's you? Okay. Let's get in it. Let's see what they want to say about you. I might have to go downstairs and get my other cards. Because these are... Okay. All right, interesting. I feel like there's been some bad partnerships within your work environment or just bad connections with your work environment, but they're done. So whatever relationships you've had, that didn't really line up the way you wanted them to. It feels like more in the business sector, work sector, or just even just generally speaking, I guess. I feel like that they're gone. Like you're done. You've closed a chapter on relationships that are just not loyal. You're done with the relationships that are just kind of not been working out for you, that have been taken advantage of, and just kind of the dead weight. So this is kind of aligned with the collective read now for you, Leah. So they're saying the dead weight is done. You're kind of now starting a new beginning. This is great because now they want to talk about your work and craftsmanship, right? So in a sense of like really focusing on what your craftsmanship is. Let me see what I'm feeling what that is. They're saying something about home life. Home life. I don't know if the craftsmanship, if it means that you should be working on your home life, if you should be working on, even helping others with their home life. Or if that's just talking about real estate. I just get that feeling about home when it comes to craftsmanship, or dealing in that space somehow. Because I think that's where like there's gonna be new beginnings for you. Okay? So I would kind of consider this. Consider that. And I think right now, if I look at this new beginning phase, I would say, here we go again, Christopher Witecki. I hope you're in the room. If you're not, please tell me why February, March keeps coming up for a lot of my clients as a boost. So Leah, February, March, there's something, I guess, astrologically where a lot of people, or their new beginnings really kind of take precipice there and really push forward. And I feel that. And I see something with working with home life and working with home. Something of that nature. It might be an idea that inspires you. It might be as you redo a home or something of that nature that really inspires you, and there's a new change. There's a new leap forward. So there's a lot of positive direction in this, and a lot of this will come into fruition, like I said, February, March. And I've been feeling that with a lot of people. Not everybody. People who have been, I would say, on par to their trajectory and what they need to be learning. A lot of that people have been aligned with February, March, but not everybody. Some people have to do the work. So in this case, you have been, and I feel there's a lot of energy with the home life. In fact, focusing on a new craftsmanship or some sort of hobby or task that you're good at, which will create a new beginnings for you, and even possibly even a side career or career addition, a career addition, meaning something side job or side hustle on that nature. That's more of like an excitement for you. That sounds exciting to me, actually. So that's a good pull there. All right, Leah. So pay attention to the. I would say pay attention to the impulses that you might have to do something. You might say to yourself, "I just really want to redo this room." Do it, because you don't know what that's going to inspire from you. You might think, "Well, what's going to happen if I redo this room?" A lot. You're changing something. You're following an impulse. An impulse that leads to an idea. The idea leads to, of course, a direction. That direction leads to a new manifestation of a new life. Okay. I actually love that. Okay, next up is Daryl Blankenship. 2 questions. I put them in the chat like you prefer for all these. Oh, but Daryl, where did you put it? Daryl, where did you put the questions? Is it all the way back in the beginning? Okay, thank you. I'm looking back, Daryl, because where did you put it? I'm looking, Daryl. I'm looking. I'm scrolling. I don't see the questions in the chat. Hello, I see you saying hi. Daryl, can you put them in the chat again? I'm not seeing them. I know, I love it put in the chat. It's good to put up there. Daryl, where's your questions? All right, Joe. Okay, is there a reason why I have at least 4 people who have the same birthday as mine, very close friends, May 17th? All of us are happy. Here's a question. Thank you for putting it in the chat. Yeah, those of you who are watching, I get the questions on demo. I don't have it in the chat, so I can't put it on the screen. So those who put it in the screen, I can highlight that or highlight the responses. I still haven't found a way to put the whole chat in there, but elevation will evolve to that somehow when I get more people to be on my employee payroll. Is there a good reason why I have at least 4 people the same birthday? Very close friends. May 7th, all of us are happy, healthy, and wealthy. Taurus traits, feel like I gravitate toward them. I mean, yeah, I think you kind of answered the question there. I mean, we definitely attract like energy, and I think we definitely attract those who we know that are supportive roles in our lives. So it's a simple question. I'll give you 2 others because that's a simple question. Ask me 2 more because that's a simple question. You definitely align with people who are similar in energy, especially if you're in tune and you're in a position to where you feel like you're in your element, right? And you're embracing your element, then you're definitely going to attract people in the same way. You feel very expressive to me. I don't think you've ever really held back in your life when it comes to vocalizing things. And, I know we've had questions in other lives before. I just don't remember the questions. So I remember maybe tidbits. So I don't know if I've said this to you before or not. But I feel like you have always been expressive and you've always been very real. And that attracts people who are also the same way, especially you're very extroverted that way. So, of course, you're going to align with similar energy. That is also a reflection. See, I always attract the complete opposite of me, but it also might mean have a reflection that you should be embracing your energy in this lifetime, embracing your voice in this lifetime. That could be what that means as well, if they're very similar. I always attract the opposite. I'm very extroverted. I attract introverts, right? So I think with you, it's like really embracing your energy, your core frequency. That's the purpose of really meeting people who are kind of similar in that way. And it's also a reflection that you are in the right spot, the right time, and doing the right thing. Okay, second question is, a very cool, close lady friend of mine died in March 2020. Does she have any messages for me? Let's see. Let me get out my pen and pad. My pen and my maxi pad. I'm using black ink, not red ink on my maxi pad. That's horrible, isn't that? Wow, wow. Boom. I wish I had my applause. Okay. Let me see. Daryl, you keep getting this name of Lisa coming with you. I don't know why. I feel like name of Lisa came last time. I can get the name of Lisa. I'm not saying it's her, but I don't know why. The last time I remember the name Lisa came out, I didn't understand it, but there's another name of Lisa that comes out for you. I don't know why. Make a note of this. But let me see what this lady friend has to say for you. She seems like a very funny individual because I just hear her laughing. So she seems rather funny and kind of cheeky. She's making a joke about, I don't know if it's the muffins or the muffs. And also she's showing like maybe like those mittens, or I don't know. She's making a joke about muffs or the mittens. I don't know. And she's laughing about this. And something about, there's a connection even with the winter time. So I don't know if there's a connection with her in the winter time too. If there's a significance with the winter time and some sort of celebration or connection there too. But she keeps showing like a snow environment and the mittens and the muffs and the white puffs. I don't know what the hell that means. It can be very symbolic. But she's saying to me that, she said she'd watch over you. She's like, I said I'd watch over you, and I'm still doing that. And I don't know why she's very symbolic, so I'm trying to expand these symbols and expressions. And something about the sun. I don't know if you have a routine or a ritual that you do when the sun comes up that she's with you on. Because she keeps showing like maybe you do something like a morning regimen as the sun comes up. I don't know if it's a meditation, but she's connecting you at that time. Maybe you've talked to her at that time and she's following through on this. God, the things I hear. Oh, you saw her in the snow before okay. Yeah, because she's showing this mitten and muffs and like something about that time is special. So maybe that's what it was. And I don't know why she goes, it's okay to be gay. I don't know. Why she's saying this? I wouldn't say that myself, but she's saying it's okay to be gay. But she's definitely a hoot to me and laughing. She is watching over you, and there's something about this regimen, love, or maybe like when the sun comes up, I feel like she connects with you. She is watching over you, almost like a mother energy. She gives you that nurturing mother energy. For some reason, in the spiritual sense. I'm not saying she was that way in the physical sense, but in the spiritual sense, she's kind of like mothering you. And she loves you. She appreciates you. She said something about you two being kind of like a black sheeps. You two are kind of unique. You walked your own rhythm. And that's where you kind of got you both connected. And I don't know why she showed me cards too, like poker. I don't know if you guys play cards or if you play cards. She's shown that too. So I don't know if you got a game or something of that nature you guys play together. I don't know. But she's saying she is constantly with you and she's always laughing with you. And I don't know these references. Why is she saying these things? Unless she's just being a hoot. And that's just her personality. But she's with you and she loves you. Okay? Mary? I don't know if I'm here. Mary? I don't know. I hear a Mar name. I don't know what that is. I can't tell. I don't know. But, oh, you staring. Okay, is that what it is? Okay, but see, I think she connects with you during that time too. Because she says it's like a ritual that you do this all the time. And she's there. I keep hearing a Mary. I don't know if her name's Mary. I don't know. I'm not hearing it right. So I could be wrong on that, I'm sure. But some Mary, Martha, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm hearing. And that Lisa name for some reason. All right. She loves you. Hope that helps. And I hope those other references make sense because they're kooky. The it's okay to be gay thing, I don't know. Maybe she's very gay friendly. I don't know how to interpret that with her. But I just heard her say that. She made me laugh. And that's not something I would pull out of my ass. I'll tell you that. So, all right. Moving on. Mrs. Noel Way. Is this for card pull? Yes. And thank you guys who've already paid for being patient. And I try to get through these as fast as possible. And also allowed to give her meat too as possible. I'm sorry, what does that say? I'm lost on these chats here. Let me take that down too. Her name is Marlene. Marlene. Okay. I heard like Mar something. Mary. Okay. Marlene. Okay. Yeah, I just said Mar. I'm like, am I going to Mars? Sometimes I think I'm crazy what I'm getting. Okay, now it feels so stupid. And sorry guys, I don't get the chat all the time either. Oh, Christopher, thank you for this. Pluto moves into Aquarius, which you dealership got. Yes, because the age of Aquarius begins. Isn't that correct, Christopher? The age of Aquarius is next year, which I've been waiting for such. I'm an Aquarius. Y'all need some Aquarius energy in this planet, okay? Y'all need this Aquarius energy. And I'm not talking about Oprah or Justin Timberlake or Jennifer Aniston, they're Aquarius, or Ellen, they're Aquarians too. We talk about the spiritual Aquarians we need. Because Oprah's Aquarius, Ellen's Aquarius, Justin Timberlake's Aquarius, Jennifer Aniston is Aquarius. A lot of Aquarians in our celebrity culture, but we need a new batch of spiritual Aquarians. So, God, I wish I would have got that name. I hate when I don't get the names right. Ugh. I wish I got the whole thing. And that's part of my... And I'm Virgo rising. I'm, of course, beat myself up because I'm like, I didn't get the name. Ugh. Okay. I'm still shuffling for Noel. I wish someone can go downstairs and get my other deck because this deck is becoming very difficult. And I would hate to leave the live just to get them. Would you guys care if I left to go get my other cards? Just run downstairs and get them. Would you guys care? I can put on a video for 2 seconds. Okay. For Noel Way. Interesting. This card keeps coming up for a lot of people today. I don't know why. Adversary card. Okay. This is going to be kind of more emotional. Not so much, you know, like there's something going on in your space. They're saying you have to get out of the mindset that you always have to struggle. Like, I have to struggle to get what I want. I have to struggle to get what I need. You have to get out of that mindset. That's your past thinking for some reason. You got to get out of that mentality because that in itself puts you in adversary mode with people and others around you and situations around you. So we got to get you in a position of saying that, okay, well, maybe there was some struggling for things in the past and maybe even in your upbringing, there was a struggle for things. What does that mean? Does that mean you have to continue that energy? You know what I mean? No, it doesn't mean that you should do that and carry on that energy. So they want you to kind of look about how you can actually, again, I told you it's going to be emotional. Self-love, my love. Self-love and understanding right now, Noel, that you have to give yourself everything that you need. And that be determined that you're going to give yourself everything that you need. This is emotional. You got, again, the unexpected card as it came in the collective. You know, the unexpected freaks the hell out of you. That's probably why you're always like, let's go, 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 go. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. But then you're very patient with shit that you think that you're not patient on because you extend it too long. And then you get impatient. So they're saying you have to say to yourself, I'm going to provide for myself everything that I need. You have to be determined on saying this. It's an emotional read. And embrace the unexpected of such. It might be new to you to say that, to be conscious and be emotional that way. That might be new to you. because of the past of not having everything you needed or having to struggle in the past. Who cares? We've all struggled in the past. Some will still struggle, some don't, and that's a choice. It's also a result of how we're choosing to process. But there's new beginnings coming for you anyway. There's new beginnings coming for you. And so I think that, once you identify and you peel the layers off of the past, of having to struggle for things, of what you're wanting, and trying to, always have to, everything have to be hard work. Why don't you just let go of that and say, that's just an idea. Why would you choose it? And shedding those layers. And so they're saying that, self-love means, and that sounds cliche, but let's talk about what that really fucking means, right? Self-love means is that you are definitely saying to yourself, I will provide for myself what I need. I'm the god of my myth, nobody else. My past circumstances don't dictate what happens in the future. My past circumstances don't dictate what I need or don't need. They're just experiences. I get to pull from those experiences, say, I will provide for myself regardless. I'll find a way to make myself be at peace regardless. I will do what I need to do to make myself feel balanced. I will do what I need to do to make myself feel at ease. It's a choice. And activating that within you by letting go of whatever the fuck happened in the past and the struggle and all that. And fighting hard for things and work. Everything has to be hard work. No. Things that require hard work instead of, I would say smart work. Hard work just means it's not going in a flow. It's not in a flow. These things feel harsh. It's not in a flow. When things are in a flow, it's aligned with you. So what I do is creating what I do, the work that I do, as far as like when I create content or I create music and all the songs, that's hard work, but it's easy work for me because it aligns with my skill sets. It aligns with my talents. Doing readings and learning about, being a better reader every day and every week. And it's hard work, but it's easy because at the same time, it's what aligns with me. It's who I am. So when I say hard work, I'm talking about it's focused work. And when I say focused work, it means it's exciting. And that's what you do about when you envelop the self-love energy, then you start behaving that way. And you start doing focused work, not hard work, just because it's hard work. Because you have to do it. That's the change. So it's an emotional read, Noel. But I think that it's something that is going to, making that realization is going to break a lot of barriers for you. All right. And, and there is new beginnings. I think that you're in that process anyways, even though we're talking about that or coaching on that, you're still in that paradigm anyways. Okay. You're still finding that anyways. And so many people we hear in the spiritual communities all the time about self-love, like, what the fuck does it even mean, self-love? People just hear that. People can't even begin to identify what that means. I say just start by thinking in your favor. Just start by realizing that everything that you're choosing in your life, or everything that's happening in your life that you do is all a choice. You have the opportunity to shift how you engage with things in your life and to make it to where it's benefiting you. And then guess what? Then inherently it would benefit others. The problem is people who are empathetic, and this is for the room too, people who are empathetic are afraid to be selfish. And I hate to break it to you all, you can't help somebody until you learn what it's like to be selfish. Because if you can't learn about the self and learn how to take care of the self, how the hell are you going to tell others to do that? Unfortunately, I see a lot of people in the healthcare industry that are out of shape and unhealthy. A lot of nurses, unfortunately, that are out of shape. A lot of doctors with pot bellies. A lot of people talking about health who are not healthy. A lot of people talking about spirituality who aren't spiritual. A lot of psychics who are not psychic. We have a lot of contradictory here in this planet. It's unfortunate. But when you focus on taking care of the self, what happens is you can't help to help other people. It'd just be a natural energy, a natural current to share it with the collective. That's the result of when you gather and rebuild and emphasize your own foundation. You can't help but to share that. So right now, some of you don't have any business sharing right now or trying to share. You got to clean your own house. And let me tell you something. I practice what I preach every day of my life. I'm cleaning house. Every day of my life, I'm analyzing. Every day of my life, I'm practicing, rewinding what I've done to make things, how to tweak things better, to refine my mission. Every single day. I tell all of you guys, when the camera shuts off, I'm still working. Everybody in your field needs to be that way. That's what passion is. That's what true essence of self is. And that's how you truly help people. And then it just becomes fun. Just becomes fun. So your card pull, Noel, helped to inspire a read. Sorry to be long-winded about this, and I will go until all these questions are finished, and I will be good on that. Okay. Next, we have Sydney Aaron. Thank you so much, Scott. Would love a card pull and have a question about my mom. What's the vibe with her? Sydney Aaron. Okay, I have to just pull this out. Sydney. Gosh, they're just like, Scott, fuck the cards downstairs. We're going to have you pull them out randomly. Hey, Spirit. Okay, first of all, Sydney, I'm going to combine the two with the card pull and the question to speed things up, but also be more effective. You gotta relax, my love. You need to rest, Sydney. There's a lot of amped energy, which is great, but you got to take a step back and relax, and to unwind, and to maybe stop doing a little bit. They're saying as well, kind of similar to with Noel, but you have past circumstances right now to reflect upon. And these past circumstances, not just bad, but good ones too. And they're saying that, you're resisting a spiritual awakening. Not that you're not doing it. They're saying there's something that you're resisting deep down inside. It relates to the path. Oh, excuse me, the past. And if you relax in silence on this, it'll be revealed to you. And I think it's a little bit of a hindrance right now because you're very positive. Yes, you're upbeat and you do great things, but that doesn't mean we don't miss things or overlook things. You're overlooking a past trauma that's preventing a full spiritual awakening for you. Not saying you're not spiritually awakened. We're saying a full spiritual awakening means even we always constantly awaken and elevate. But they're saying that transformation is around the corner. This is more spiritual for you. This is a spiritual read. The last one was emotional for Noel. This is spiritual. So please take some time in silence to relax and to reflect on a past circumstance that is actually maybe something you've overlooked, been a hindrance for you, that you really haven't fully looked at, and push it out of your system. Get it out of your system, and you will skyrocket. You will transform. Okay? I think a lot of this is, I think you know what I'm talking about. I think you've been pushing through the circumstance, right? I think you've been, saying, I'm good, but you really fully didn't look at it, though, and say, fuck you, right? I'm done with you. And I think that's going to bring the transformation, full transformation. And I think that's where you're going to start realizing your spiritual path in a sense of what you could be doing in your spiritual path. I think you have a major spiritual path ahead of you, and major spiritual work ahead of you, okay? And a holistic path ahead of you. I feel like letting go of this little nugget that's been overlooked and cleaning that house completely, boom, complete realization for you in that regard. Wonderful things from this. So I think you know what it is. I think you've allowed yourself to, maybe say, okay, I'm going to overlook this little trauma. For privacy, I'm not going to say it here because we're live, and I want to keep this private. And a session would be more specific, of course. But I think once you really fully grab the bull by the horns, then you'll see that major transformation. And they're saying your psychic abilities will go through the freaking roof. So you might realize you're psychic and you have mediumistic abilities that you'll be able to expand upon. Yes, exactly. Light it up. And the mom energy. Let's see the mom energy. There's a disconnect with mom, or I heard reconnect. So if there's a downtime with mom, I feel a gap with mom, or just some sort of disconnect with the mom energy. So I feel like somehow there'd be a reconnection or reestablishing a connection with her, maybe, or that gap would be mended, or in a sense of well, I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's going to be some mending with mom a reconnection with mom in a different way. I just feel like mom has been stubborn, and not really, or hasn't really heard you the way you should have been heard, in a sense. And I don't feel like it's a very malicious energy, but just I feel like she maybe hasn't validated you enough. And I feel like there might be that connection of where she might make amends for that or reconnect in that sense. Because I just got a sense of not really connecting as much as she should, but then she makes amends or makes up for it somehow. I don't know why I get her in spirit and let me see. Should you be open to this connection with her? Yes. Yes. But again, it's on your terms. And they're saying to me that let her do it. And here's a funny thing, because I keep getting her in spirit and physical. So she might be on the verge of an illness or something like that. And maybe she's reflecting that she might pass. So that's kind of giving her the inclination that, you know, I need to make amends or reconnect with my daughter somehow. That could be the catalyst to this, because I keep saying, is she dead? Is she passing or not passing? Because I keep going back and forth with that energy. And that means it's both, which is spirit trying to tell me that she might be on the verge, you know, of passing, or she's actually has an illness that might be pushing her to self-reflect. Because she's thinking, maybe before I pass, I need to make amends with or reconnect with my daughter. So I feel like that will reconnect somehow. So be open to that. You know, of course, if someone's going to reconnect and make amends for something and kind of, make up for what they deprived you of, always accept that. Because when we reject that, we create bad karma for ourselves. Doesn't mean you have to invite them in, but just like saying, I accept your apology or I accept your, your amends. Okay? Okay, good. Because I was like, am I right about that disconnected energy? But yeah, she's gonna have a wake up call. We'll just say that, Sydney. Okay, she's gonna have a wake up call. All right. Okay. Next victim, we have Chelsea Manica for a card pull. Those of you who are still waiting, I appreciate your patience. And also a lot of these reads can be beneficial to those watching too, what resonates, because a lot of the messages could be universal too, or applied to your own circumstances, to maybe those who relate. Because we're all in the same room together, we all have similar vibes, and some of you guys might be going through similar things. Of course, expressed differently with different variables, but generally speaking, and this is for Chelsea Monica. Okay. You're getting a little better, these cards. I feel like I would break up the flow if I just leave and run downstairs. And they're long stairs. And then my dog's gonna get all... Okay. Okay, for Chelsea. Let me sit on this for a moment, because I got to use my intuition. Because again, I'm not a guy, for everyone who's watching who don't know, I'm not a tarot reader. I'm a psychic medium. I use tarot for lives and for card pulls because it's more, easier on a collective. But in a session, they're kind of secondary to me. I'm always just point blank in a private session. But they're good for lives. So much confusion and energy around you, Chelsea. Okay, you can't be easily charmed. Okay, I think right now you're holding yourself stuck and afraid of moving forward, Chelsea. And so I think that you're being seduced by maybe other things that are not benefiting your overall objective, which is giving you more anxiety and creating, I would say, illusionary ideas of what could be helpful to you. So right now you have to focus on what's most important and taking action. They're saying that you have not been taking action in a space that you should be taking action on. Again, I'm showing you right here. This card is all talking about right here. It's talking about, holding on to things and not allowing yourself to express. Usually this is about someone who's wealthy and that doesn't want to give up on their wealth, and it's being very hoarding of wealth. But in this case, I think it's more so you're hoarding your resources right now that you have, that's preventing you from taking action because of you're trying to hold on to what you have, right? And so when you are actually allowing yourself to take action, your anxiety will go away. There'll be quick movement, fast movement. You'll have better messages for you of the future. Because right now they're saying you're letting your mind go amok on certain ideas, that you're kind of allowing yourself to stay in anxiety mode, that it's time to take action. Any action in the direction toward the goal, and out of the circumstance that you feel like you're trapped in, or a circumstance where you feel like you're just holding on. Take action. And that it's okay to I think this is conditional too. So if it's a conditional circumstance, it's okay if you're in a conditional circumstance. Just take action in direction that's for you. Get out of the mental mindset and the mind state that's keeping you deprived of other ideas that are not important to the main goal. And so if you're in a relationship with somebody and they are just, they're providing for you conditionally, and anybody else is in a conditional relationship, listen up, and they're providing for you, and you can't leave because of the resource it's providing for you, then enjoy the conditional aspects that you already signed up for to get yourself ahead. But stop questioning why. Why are they this? Are they going to do this? They've shown to you who they are. Keep going and taking action in a direction that's bettering you. Instead of questioning, will they do this? Are they doing this? Did they do this in the past? You're spending so much time focusing on the illusions. So it's time to take action. And taking action doesn't mean you have to make a decision to leave or go. Taking action means that you're actually moving forward in a direction that's going to be a betterment to yourself, to allow yourself to maneuver and grow from the experience, instead of staying stuck in the woulda, coulda, shoulda, whys, whats, whens, and all that stuff that's not really beneficial or relevant to your future growth, which is just creating more anxiety and creating more, I would say, illusions. And I would say almost like being creative with your imagination about things that don't really exist or haven't existed, or even if they have, it's not relevant, right? So take action, moving ahead, saying, I'm moving forward and taking action and doing what's better for me to evolve from the circumstance. The details at this point aren't necessary. I've exhausted the details. That's what the cards say. Boundaries. I mean, they can't be more repetitive about the boundaries, guys. You know what I mean? I personally, my pet peeve is repeating myself. So if I'm repeating myself, the message needs to be conveyed, and I love to convey it. So please, love, take action. Stop overthinking the situation. You're becoming paralyzed by analysis, and a lot of people do that in the spiritual communities with growth. They become paralyzed by analysis. Stop doing that, because you're just going to be stuck. All these thoughts will circulate from different perspectives. You're wasting time and energy. Take advantage of the conditional situation and move forward, saying this is to betterment of you, and appreciate it. And things will happen fast for you. Things will happen quickly, because when the Page of Wands came in that, I'm like, or the Knight of Wands came in that, I'm like, that's a good sign, because if you do, things will start happening quickly for you. The legalities of such will happen quickly for you. Aligning with the people that you need to align for will happen quickly for you. It's a very positive spin on that. So, but you got to take action. Okay? This is for Elevate. Yeah, I mean, the boundaries, this thing has been coming out a lot, guys. I know. I mean, I don't like to be repetitive. I like to always, I like to change everything. I don't like to wear the same thing twice. I don't like to say the same thing twice. But if I have to, it's because that's the message. That's the current that we are in. So, I like to always bring something new, But if it's repetitive, it's because it has to be. It has to be. And that's okay. And guys, having a voice of strength does not mean it's you're doing anything wrong. You need a lot of you guys need a strong voice behind you, because many of you guys don't have support, and a lot of my clients I talk to don't have support, surprisingly, and they just need a strong voice behind you. And I'm here, especially for you, Chelsea. I'm here to be a strong voice for you. There's no judgment of circumstance. Every circumstance can evolve to be in your favor. All of it can. And I hate to sound cliche, and I'm not a mushy guy, but I really believe in all of you guys. All of you guys are so determined. You guys are focused on self-growth. You guys are doing so well. I believe in all of you guys. You guys are very special people. All of my clients, I've been saying for the past 12 years how blessed I am to have such awesome clients that are open, that are self-reflective, and appreciative. You guys are tremendously awesome. I've been blessed. I've had 3 bad circumstances in 12 years doing this professionally, of negative circumstances. Just 3. That's how blessed I am interacting with you guys. So if I'm talking with strength, it's because you guys need a strong voice behind you, and I'm behind you. Because my goal is to empower you. My goal is to get you in complete realization of the power that you have within, which is from spirit, so spirit can start thriving through our veins, through our experiences, and through our world. That is the mission here. And bringing the light to the world. Okay? All right. You guys are sweet. Thank you. Okay, for Katie. What am I supposed to be learning from my lack of business this week? Will it change? Thank you. I love you. I love you too. Speaking of, because let me see your lack of business this week. Well, this is universal, Katie. This isn't just you. But if I remember from the card pull, that you're thinking about that you're doing all the wrong things instead of focusing on what we should be doing, like pushing forward. So the question kind of goes and coincides with the card pull, which is great, right? So this is collective. You're not the only one that had a slowness, but it's time to reflect on pushing forward, okay? So Base's question kind of is saying the same thing. Now let's go deeper and see if there's anything else we can recommend, because the question kind of correlates with the card pull. Let's pull some more cards then for you on that too, because they're saying it's collective. It's been a really weird week for a lot of people. A lot of people have been ill. A lot of people have been getting injured. A lot of people have been bitchy. A lot of people have been sad. A lot of people have been selfish. So it's just been one of those weeks. And so, but what they're saying for you is to own it and to push through. And so, yes, it will pick up. They're saying December will be a roller coaster, but you'll pay bills comfortably. But again, here we go with the January, February, March thing. I feel like February, March for some reason, or January, February is like kind of a time frame for you that things will pick up again. You'll have a great 2024. I think you'll have a great 2024 all the way until 2025 because of what you'll be expanding with your work. Honestly. Especially because if Pluto's going to Aquarius, there's going to be a lot of that kind of energy of air and earth. And so what you do is, and I told you probably this before, to bring more earth energy into what you're doing, it's going to skyrocket. So you're going to be very consistent, I think, for a full year. Take the breather. That's the lesson. Own it, push hard, go forth what you've been doing, own it, and take this breather. Has it ever dawned on you guys that if work goes slow, it's because you need to take a break because something might pick up? Have it dawned on you guys that you guys just need a break? And so it slows down for that reason? We can't always assume something's wrong because of that, right? So the realization is, listen to yourself, push on through, get rid of the fact of what you're doing wrong and how people might not believe in what you're doing. Get rid of that crap. It's just congesting the time that you can be taking a break and making newer realizations and creations, okay? So, well, I think everybody worries about paying the bills. Most people. I mean, I don't, because Spirit pays the bills. Yes. Yes. And remember, that's what we said in the card pull too, my love. All right? You got this. You got this. And ask yourself, reflect on this. How much good you put out, how much good thoughts you put out, how much good intentions you put out. You should be demanding that you get that in return. Own it. Like, I do good things. I help people. I should be getting in return. I'm evolving. I'm following my passion. I'm following my core purpose. So you should be getting what you want. So you should be demanding that. Don't withhold from it. Don't block it. Own it. So yes, it'll pick up, and I think again, 2024 is going to be a very great year for you. New ideas, new connections. Again, it doesn't mean it's going to be like that the whole time. We have waves that we go through in life. So what you want to be making sure you're doing as we're going through a wave in our trajectory, that every up, right, you have a down, but you want to make sure you're always going up to every down is higher than the last down, right? So, and go with the waves. Ride the waves, because when you're going up, you're working, and when there's a down, you know when to rest. We have to have rest periods and reflective periods. But you got this. You got this. Come on now. Okay. Rachel Ella. Sorry, guys. Card pull. For Rachel, what time is it? All right, I'm going to just close these down here because we have a lot. I have probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 questions left. I didn't make sure no one books and extends it, so we're just gonna close that down now. Because we can't be here all night. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, this is for Rachel Ella. A, under my Rachel Ella. Or is it Rachel or Raquel? I don't know. Under my Rachel Ella. I'm just singing as I'm shuffling here. I know. I saw this shirt, and I bought it in 3 colors. When I see a shirt I like, I buy like every color. So I have this in purple and black stripes, and beige and black stripes, but somehow I like the red better. So interesting. Okay, so I'm just shuffling these cards. They're so stubborn, man. Oh wow, look at that. Okay, cool. I'll do some oracles. I don't, when I say card pull, I mean I pull multiple cards. Like I'm pulling cards. I don't just pull one card. I pull multiple cards. And as well as, wow, Rachel. First of all, I want to say, good job. You have been making a lot of change, a lot of growth in your life. Good job. I think right now what you'll be finding, this is for Rachel Ella, that you'll be connecting with a great community of people. I think that's kind of coming in as well in 2024. We got kind of talk about 2024, is connecting with a great community of people, finding your community. I think that's part of new change now. I think that you've, maybe have been struggling with that, but I think that you're going to be finding more of this community of people that really resonates with your energy. Could be in the spiritual arena. And you actually completed a cycle. And you're growing, and a new cycle is beginning. That's coming with the community of people and new relationships and a spiritual awakening. And I'll just show the cards that I got pulled to say this, because 3 of Pentacles, that to me is my community card. It could be also about like Freemasonry or secret societies, but for me, it's always my community card and connect with the community of people. And Wheel of Fortune card, you completed a cycle, baby. You're starting a new cycle. Good job. And Judgment card is all about spiritual awakening. So I banter my eyes. But underneath that, which is interesting, I got the Oracle cards of growth and change. So if anything, this card pull is telling you you've done the work. You've done the work to change. You've done your work to evolve, and now you're starting a new cycle. And the new cycle is relating to a community of people and building a new community of people, and finding people who are like-minded now, people that are loyal. And it feels to me that you'll find a community of people that are spiritually inclined. So that would be, I would say, a new thing for you. So they say you've been patient, because I feel like you may have been in isolation, saying, when are things going to change? When are things going to change? Like, I've been making great work, doing great work in my life, and I've been working on myself. When are things changing? I just feel like you've been questioning this for some reason, and they're saying you've done this. So a lot of times when we change the energy, it takes time for the physical world to catch up. There's like a delay. There's an echo. And so you're just experiencing a phasing period, they're saying. So you've done the change. Now it's like a phasing period into that new paradigm. And you're kind of on board with the collective of January, February as well, in that sense. But it really is all about being about a community of people. They're saying you're very strong-minded, you're very strong-willed, you're very precise, but you're also in tune with your emotions. You're very clever. And sometimes you can be very calculating. Maybe there's some Virgo in your chart somewhere. But it's been serving you. It's been serving you. And so they're just saying, congratulations. Yes, we hear you. It's almost like your guide spirit saying, we hear you. We've seen what you've done. We see the change that you've made, that you're in the verge of making that, I would say, transition, and starting that new cycle. You're just in a phasing experience, a phasing phase. Can I say that? A phasing phase? And so again, new relationships. And again, it feels like community of people, but also friendships, loyal friendships. I feel like there's two people in your life that either has to go or just left or will be leaving soon because they're not loyal to you. Two people in particular. And it might either come to a surprise to you or came to a surprise to you because they're disloyalty. It feels like there's been a lot of gossip with these two individuals. And so they're kind of shady overall anyways. These two people will be exiting your life, if not already. Okay, I feel a surprise coming from with that. So either it was a surprise or will come to a surprise. Almost like a mask falls off of these people. But I have to say, good riddance is part of the result of making a change. When you change yourself to a degree, and people don't match that, they have to fall off out of your world. And that means if that what they have been doing or how they've been, it will be revealed to you to be able to enable such, then that will happen. But I feel two people in specifically two people individually. Okay, so yes, again, you're on board for February, March. I mean, I love that. You're saying you've been through a lot of heartbreak. This fell out. I was kind of gonna say it too about healing from pain, and so then the card fell. So it's kind of synchronous of my idea and the card that fell out. You've been through a lot of pain. People put you through a lot of emotional pain in relationships. And I'm not just sensing with romantic. I'm sensing also with, just family relationships and friendships. And I think you've endured it. I think you've trekked along. But I think you have to start realizing how painful they really were. And allowing yourself to realize, that sucked. That was painful. That was shitty. That I endured that. And acknowledging that for yourself to fully heal from that and let go of that too, because I'm just sensing you've been taken for by a lot of people, and so, but that's why I think the whole emphasis on a newer community of people and that change is part of the process here too. Yeah, Virgo rising. I knew I smelt it in you. I knew I smelt that in you. So, but I started, and I would conclude by saying, congratulations, love. I hate to sound condescending about saying I'm proud of you, but understand being proud is also saying that we're uplifting you. We're proud of the fact that you've been making those changes and been patient through the process and allowing things to take its course. Okay? And of course, being patient is also a karmic lesson to learn, and also a realization that you are good at being patient. A very patient person you are. You might not feel it at times, because sometimes I feel like I'm impatient, but then I look back and I'm like, God, I've been so patient that now I'm impatient. So they really want to commend you. So that was kind of like a celebration for you, actually, Rachel. Okay, next is Tommy Garassi. Today was a total what the fuck day. Maybe Carpool will tell me what the fuck. Okay. Tommy Garassi. Tommy Garassi, are you here? Where are you? We're doing the carpool. Let's see what the fuck day is. I don't need a card for this. I feel like you have been stepping on or people have been stepping on your toes today. I love you, but here's the thing that's trying to teach you. You're intuitive, Tommy, but sometimes you got to listen more. Not to say you don't listen, but listen more. To where you're not maybe reacting or actually jumping the gun right away, but taking a step back and fully listening, even in the silence, because then you can get a bigger picture. They're saying you're jumping the gun too much on certain things, especially with certain relationships, that you might be stepping on people's toes and vice versa, right? So I think today, Christopher can help us identify whatever the fucking planets are going on with this. But you have to understand when it's your time to listen. Even if it's crap you don't want to hear. I think you're perceptive enough to understand when someone's going to say a load of shit That you might jump the gun and intervene and cut them off instead of just letting them hear, letting them say all the shit so they can hang themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? So even though you might be correct about jumping the gun, sometimes it'll benefit that you don't jump the gun so they can let them express their shit perspective that you might see to be, and just let that be obvious, okay? So they can, in a sense, hang themselves, okay? So that's what they're saying about that and so forth, about like why there's, because I'm just seeing a lot of conflicting energies, Tommy, you know, kind of like bouncing and pulling and pushing and just like colliding, and that if you were, it would benefit you to be a better listener. I get you're intuitive, I get you know what's going to come, but sit back and let them say it. All right? It'll fill in the gaps without you having to. Okay? Did you hear all that, Tommy? Or are you taking a pee break? Did you hear everything I said? Okay. I would have to repeat it. So, let me know if you heard that. But that's what they're saying, and that's the realization for you on this what the fuck day, that it seems like you and other people are stepping on each other's toes, and just you need to be the better listener. So again, so they can fill in the gaps. Even though you know they're going to say something stupid, let them say it. Let them say it. Because the fact of them saying it will prove a lot. Okay? Okay. Your toes are killing you. Well, I know, but if you listen to people, they won't come at you. They won't step on your toes. They'll say their stupid remarks, and they will actually hang themselves for you without you having to prove anything. Understand? It's gonna do a lot for you to save you of having people kind of interjecting. I just feel like you're hearing a lot of stupidness around you, and you're always interjecting to stop the stupid behavior, and it's causing more tension instead of just letting them express it so they can recognize how stupid they're being. And I'm saying it from your perspective. That's not my perspective of how I would identify it, but I'm saying it based on how you're experiencing it, how you might be defining it, if that makes any sense. So that's what the fuck day means, appears to be for me. Okay? I just feel like you deal with so many stupid people, though. I don't know if you're saying that, oh my God, these people are so stupid, and dealing with that stupid. I just feel like you're dealing with a lot of stupidity. But let their stupidness hang themselves, I guess, okay? And say those toes. What if you meet the love of your life and he has a foot fetish? You don't want them to not like your toes that have been stepped on so much. Okay, Michelle Diore. One question. So I'm feeling quite in between my areas of life, which is no doubt echoed in being energetic shifts skywise and beyond. So what should I know in moving forward and doing so passionately? Michelle, why are you questioning the same thing over and over and over and over again? I'm going to say this to you. I'm going to say this to you very calmly, is that you're making excuses of not knowing what to do next because you're afraid of making the change. You need to stop being afraid of making the change. You know what you need to do next. You need to get back into writing. You need to get back into helping people and working with magic. You know you need to be doing this. You need to be practicing this. You know. But the problem is you're afraid of doing it and moving forward. So stop pretending like you don't know what to do and do it. Okay? You know. You have the gift of insight. And I honestly think it scares you. Because if I saw you moving forward with that, then I'm like, you're embracing it. But part of you is really scared of it. And I feel like it's bringing up past life energy, which you should be embracing, not running away from. Okay? And so I think when you understand, you already know what to be doing. The in-between just means that you haven't taken action. It reminds me, I don't know which read I had about taking action. I think it was with, I forgot, Chelsea. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, because I have bad memory when it comes to names. Chelsea, we talk about taking action. When you don't take action of something you know you should be doing, you're going to feel stuck in between. And that's going to be more devastating than taking the action, my love. Okay, Michelle? So please, you know you have a gift in writing. Start writing again. You know you have a gift in insight and seeing things. You know you have a gift in working with holistic aspects and diving into the magical aspects of such. And you know what I'm talking about when I say this. So just do it. There's no other advice that you need. And like I said before with the other reader, is that you don't want to become paralyzed by analysis anymore. So that's what it is, my love. You have so much power behind you. It's insane. But I think your own power is scaring you. Good. Let it and do something with it and make it powerful. Make it scary good. Because, again, it's your power. You can do whatever you want to it. Let that fear of your own power let you identify how powerful you know that you are and utilize it. You already know what to do. So I'm not going to pacify something you already know. We're letting you know you have a fear of taking action and applying it. Once you do, it's going to be amazing. Okay? That was for Michelle Ditore. I'm saying that right. You have such good energy. You have such powerful energy, Michelle. You can relate to so many people. They're saying you're so relatable. Stop withholding it. Take action, please. Just do it. Don't be afraid. It's not taking action is the scary part. Taking action is the relief. Okay? Okay. All right. Here is for Sydney Aaron. Send wrong amount of 30, adding 5 for carpool and 1 question. What happened? What happened, Sydney? You sent 30. Yeah, we did that. We give you questions, right? I'm confused. Let me see, Sydney. What happened here? Send the wrong amount. Let me see for a second. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to fix a glitch here. Okay, we did that. Why are you sending $5 more? Because we did that. You don't have to send more money, Sydney. We did both. We did carpool and we talked about your mom and we dived deep. You didn't need to send any more money. There's no glitch. You sent $30. It's correct. You're right. I'll send it back to you. I'll send it back to you. You're totally fine. $30 is what you did. We did the carpool, which is basically a question, and the other question your mom, and I threw more in there, so you're good. We don't. I'll send you back the $5. That's sweet, but you don't have to do that. Okay, Renee Mendez. I have questions about my health and financial freedom. No, you paid well, babe. You paid $30. You're good. You're good. What's that? No, dude, what? Help me out. No, you did. You sent the wrong amount. We did 2 questions. You sent $30. It's $30 for both. Because here's the thing. What I did, Sydney. I considered the card pull as 1 question because you did $30 for 2 questions. I considered the card pull 1 question, and then No, you're good. I get what you're saying. You paid for a card pull and 1 question. No. I just considered 2 questions with $30. You're good. I get what you're saying. No, you paid $15 for the carpool and then for another question. No, you're good. It's completely fine. The $5 is no. Don't worry about that. I'll send it back to you. You're good. Or I could just apply it to next week if you're there next week. But no. I lumped it all in. I'm not that nickel and diming at all. But you're good. This is for Renee. I have questions about my health and friends. Well, what's the question about your health? I guess, but I'll just tap in simplistically. If you could, guys, for time's sake on the questions, if you can try to be more specific on it, in a one-on-one read, you don't have to be. I can just dive on in. But for time's sake, these questions are so vague. Questions about your health, financial, but I'll just dive in and understand, maybe what you want, I can assess the health. Financial freedom, guys, let me start with this because it's such a vague question about financial freedom that I have to be honest about creating value. Now, specifically here with Renee, they're saying you're not being strategic enough. So it could be with work or business environment. They're saying you're not being strategic enough, that you need to be more strategic. I think the problem is with today's New Age communities, they think that like saying affirmations manifests money, and it's created such a trap for people that because you want financial freedom doesn't mean you get it. You got to create it. And I have to be very honest and clear about this. First thing to do is the great thing about affirmations, it gets your mind on board of any resistances it has with money. That's step one. Step two is then to strategize and say, how can I create this? What can I do to create value to bring in that financial freedom, and then apply it? So a lot of people, and I see this online, it's where people are just saying, how I'm having trouble manifesting wealth. It's like, what do you mean? Where's it going to come from? So we have to create outlets for this. So they're saying you have to be more strategic with the work environment to be able to allot that financial freedom. That you need to brainstorm on this. So I can't do the creative work for you in that, but if you were to apply yourself and brainstorm to be clearer, I do feel like you'll create multiple sources of income, though. I feel that coming, because I'm almost like maybe there's like could be 3 sources of income that you'll create, so you'll figure that out. I can't spill the beans on how you're going to do that. You have to create it, but I know you're going to find 3 sources of streams of income. I see it, right? Yeah, you have to create. You have to realize the idea. I can't interfere with that creation process. So with the financial freedom, they're saying that there's going to be you'll create 3 sources of income, but you got to be strategic to understand how you'll do that. But I know you will. That's your job. That's your work. So a lot of times you can't go to psychics and psychic things that we're going to do the work for you. Say, oh, do this, because you don't know what to do. If you don't know what to do, haven't created that, and there's nothing in your destiny or trajectory for that, we have to tell you have to create it and look within, or be strategic. But I know you'll find it, though. Because there is a prediction in a sense of there's a block of she will have multiple sources of income. So you're obviously in exploration phase that you have to kind of do for yourself. And Renee made a comment in the chat. Where are you? Did you make a comment, Renee? Did I miss you? So there's that. I don't see. Renee, did you comment? No, I don't see a comment from Renee. Someone just texted me saying comment from Renee. I don't see that. Oh, Renee. Yeah, I want to print on my own, and I'm not sure I will be successful in the outlet I'm providing. Okay. Yes. I'm glad you put that on there. Thank you. Yes. Like I said, I see you having multiple streams of income. So I can't tell you how to do it. They're saying to be strategic with it, and you'll find it. That's where I can't be predictive on, because you're in that exploration phase. I'm glad you put that in there to follow through. Thank you so much for that. But I feel, again, that's something you will evolve. That's something you will realize. But they just say you be more strategic. Be strategic. The more strategic you are, you'll find it. You'll get it. You'll find it. And I see 3 sources of income. So that requires being independent, for sure. So I assumed we were talking on the same page with that. So yes. And I think it'll be very successful. Yeah. I just can't tell you what it is, the outlets. That's what frustrates me. My guide's like, nope, don't tell her. She's got to realize that. That's something your guides won't give to me. Because I think you're in realization mode, okay? Or exploration mode, which I cannot interfere with. Spirit won't allow me, but that means that you will realize it, and that means that you're in the process of doing so. Just keep being strategic. And again, having 3 sources of income somehow you'll manifest. I think it'd be awesome. So you got this. And I saw real estate too. So I definitely think that something with the real estate. I don't know if you'll do an Airbnb thing too. I feel that with you, which might even lead into like a property. So I feel like one aspect will be Airbnb for some reason. Maybe that's something you already kind of realize, which is why that's coming to me. But I feel that will be a part of it too. Or some sort of rental of that nature will come as one of those. All right. Health now. Everything. I mean, health seems all right. Renee. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad it does, because sometimes I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm like, what am I saying? But I'm glad it makes sense, but that's how they want to lay it for you. I'll say this, being a psychic for my whole life, for 41 years, but doing it professionally for 12 years, I can say by reading thousands and thousands of people that when they withhold information, you're on the brink of a realization. So that means a path is carved out. That's why I can see a variable in the future of, oh, but I see three things of income, and there's an Airbnb, because you're already on the path. It's just they just need you to do your work of realization, exploration. Health. I feel like you have swollen lymph nodes, so you might be going through some allergies right now. Your lymph nodes are a little swollen here. I don't think it's thyroid, but I think you might be going through some allergies. That's what it feels like to me. Health seems okay. So in the future, I think you will become healthier. Again, when I see the green leaves, you might decide to become more holistic or more health conscious. So I feel that would improve. I just see like fatigue and allergies for some reason with your health. I don't know why I feel that. I feel like you might be putting more emphasis on what is going on with your health than what really is there at this stage, moving forward. I'm not looking in the past. And of course, if I had time to sit with you one-on-one, I'd probably be looking at your past and, of course, go very depth in one-on-one private reading. But for time's sake, and these are short questions, I feel like from this point forward, I think that you'll be focusing more on health and well-being. But it seems more like allergies. I get the swollen lymph nodes, and your immune system might be a little low. So I would focus on immune health right now. Okay? Nothing serious. I heard there's maybe a health scare, but I feel like I don't see anything of that in the future. Hope that helps. Okay? I don't see ill health in the future. I see either recovery or you going into a more holistic, health conscious approach, if not already. Okay, and that fatigue that I'm sensing, and the allergy stuff or habitual allergy things, get the swollen lymph nodes, kind of what that feels to me. You'll be able to get that more under control. Okay. Perfect. Because when they show me green leaves, I'm like, that's a holistic journey for me. So that makes sense then, and I think that a lot of that's going to be personalized in your health, and your own personal health too. You might even help with that too, and write about it too. Okay. They give me little tidbits here and there, almost like when you make a realization, your guide's like, give her this now, give her that now. So. Maybe it's clicking for you now. I don't know. But you might even write about the holistic journey or something like that too. Who knows? We shall see. You will be the one that reveals it to us, Renee. Okay. Okay, 2 more. Thank you. We have Elisa and Christina remaining. You guys, thank you for patiently waiting. Elisa is first here. Wondering about balancing my career. I'm a musician, a music teacher. I also practitioner of shamanic arts and sound healer. Well, you're telling me everything you do. Let me tell you what you do. An artist. How to balance all this? Any suggestions? Thank you so much. Okay. Well, I'm a big advocate of saying don't feed the psychic. So it's good if you say, tell me what's going on with my career, right? I can tell it for you, but that helps for time's sake, Elisa. So thank you. But when you go pay for a reader, don't tell them all the details. Don't feed them. And don't try to hide things, but just let them read you and let them call it out for you. But good question. I think you're more worried about the answer anyways than me being a psychic for you, so I understand that's fine. Let me see what they want to suggest on this. They say you are kind of balancing that though. Yeah, they're saying you are balancing that out. Let me look forward and see how I see that all kind of maybe unfolding, or if anything comes together with that. Okay. Well, I don't know if you've been resisting this, because I just heard you guys saying retreats. So I don't know if you've been resisting that. They're saying to do that. Because I just heard them saying retreats. So maybe you have not been allowing yourself to really start maybe a retreat process. I get the music teaching thing. I think you might take a step back on music teaching and do something more on the healing side of things, but still incorporating music. Here's the thing. I feel like teaching music for you is not organic for you. I think it's an expression for music, but it doesn't feel freeing to me for you. I think going into the healing and doing retreats where you're doing sound bathing and all that type of more in the shamanic arts, like you mentioned, and really focusing in that way is really going to allow you to feel more free. So in a sense, not that we're saying to drop teaching music, but you might want to drop teaching music and dive into the shamanic space and the healing space, the sound bathing space, and retreats. Okay, I think that's when you'll find more of a freeing experience for you. Now, okay, you have so many students. That's cool, but I'm just saying, have the direction for that, because your students can also go into a different direction. And we're not saying to do it tomorrow. We're saying to think in a bigger picture of your direction, because at some point the students are going to graduate. At some point the students are going to be where they don't need you anymore. But I need you to look deep down inside, because I love teaching music, but I feel like your environment, your vibe, your flow is within more the supernatural, metaphysical space, and doing things as retreats. I know you'll be doing this. It might take 3 years to do this. It might take 2 to 3 years or even 4 years to do this, but I think you'll do this. And it will take you time to transition to that, but I think that's going to be the big picture. Okay? I mean, yeah, you're too earthy. You have such an earthy, airy vibe and energy to you. It has to be expressed. I feel like teaching students is anchoring you down. Not to say that you don't love it, but I think in the bigger picture of your life and how to balance it out, you have to have more of that airy expression. And being, again, working with, this is a prediction, you will be doing retreats. You will be. You might start by going to one, or might be working with one, and then all of a sudden you start building a momentum with that, and it just gradually leads in that direction. That's what I'm seeing. And again, this is not saying that teaching music is bad. It's just saying that you're going to evolve away from it. Okay? In time. But it will. You'll start feeling a pull. And all because you close a chapter on one thing doesn't mean the chapter is bad, or doesn't mean it's bad at all. It just means like it's now trying to evolve into what really is more in flow for you. It's all good. And it's good you have that experience. Okay? Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, it's a long time. And so therefore, that the fact you've done it so long is an indication that, yeah, you had a good run with it. I just like Spirit's trying to pull you out of it now. But that makes sense. You will be. You will be. Thank you for validating that too. 'Cause sometimes I feel bad, like making such major decisions like that. But I'm glad you feel that. That's Spirit calling you. But again, you probably will be like I said before, it's more a prediction. You'll be doing that, and starting with the retreats and such. They keep showing like you with like these like flowy, dresses and stuff. I don't know what that means. And sheets and just like flowy and dancing and using your body. And they just keep showing me a lot of that energy. A lot of that energy. I really like that. I like your vibe. I really like your vibe. Maybe because I'm Aquarius and I like you have a lot of air, earth and air in essences to you. I like that. So I like your vibe. You have a really good vibe like that. That doesn't mean I don't like anybody else's vibe. It just means I just particularly like her vibe. Okay. Okay, but you understand the transition, and you understand, just be honest with your direction, be honest what you feel pulled to. Doesn't mean it's bad that you're making a change, or, you know what I'm saying? Just be honest with that, okay? Okay. Pisces Sun, okay. I don't know what that means. I'm bad at astrology stuff. I just know the essences, but if that's air and earth, maybe that's what I'm feeling. But last but not least, Christina Kelly. Okay. Card on live. I may have to go before it, so I'll catch replay. You guys, I just say, you guys are amazing people. I'm just fortunate with having such amazing people. You guys are so good energy. You guys are, and it's Christina, just by your emojis and the way you're typing, and just, you guys are just great people, great energy. I just have to acknowledge that. Such a warm vibe. Just really nice. I just have to say. Sorry, guys. Let me just clear something up here. Because my live recording stopped because I have... oh, Christina's still here. Okay, we're doing carpool. I had a feeling that I was going to run out of space on my computer about recording too long, and it kind of did. So bear with me a second here so I can kind of clear things up a little bit. One moment. I had a feeling it was going to happen, and just said my live recording stopped recording to my hard drive because I'm running out of space. I have to clear up the space. Okay, let's do this. All right, sorry, guys. Okay. Carpool. Christina, last but not least. All right. Let's see here. Let's minimize this there. This front. Oh, thank you. Nina's great. It's a great addition to... I call it the Cruisyverse. You're all part of the Cruisyverse. The Scott Cruisyverse. Okay. All right. All right. We're still shuffling for Christina here. So patient, my Christina. So patient. Okay. Okay. I wish I can start recording again, but I can't. That's okay. I'll have to download it from the live stream. All right. I think they're ready. Are they ready? Are they ready? Look at this. I think it came in reverse, but it wasn't supposed to be in reversed. I think there's going to be a move soon for you, Christina. Relocation, move, or even just travel. Okay? Feels like a minor change, not a major change. So it might be maybe a very simple move in the next 6 months. Nothing major. But I also feel like you might also take a trip overseas as well within the next year. So I'm getting a sense of a lot of travel, a lot of movement. Who is this woman? I feel a strong connection with the female energy too this year. Like a bonding moment. Almost like a very nurturing energy. There might be also reconnection. Oh, you just moved. Okay, so you just moved. Okay. Good. So that's it. But then you also might be traveling too. So I also feel travel in conjunction to that too. So it might be a trip overseas. So that makes sense. And I think that, and you keep seeing another move. Yes, that makes sense. I'm like, damn, it's all this travel. Okay. I don't feel crazy. Yeah, and so, because I definitely see like a move or travel over water too, because that's like kind of this moving over water. I definitely see more travel, and there's a connection with the female energy. It could be like a mother energy, or someone who's like a mother energy or nurturing energy in your life. Someone that makes you feel special. I think there's gonna be a connection with this relationship too, or reconnection or rebonding with this energy. And I feel like it's going to be, especially relationships with the female energy, will be almost like you're being very nurtured. Almost being like you're the star, you know? So I see a lot of nurturing female energy around you too, and connecting with relationships. So if there was kind of mother energies or energies that were mentors to you in your life resurfacing, as well as even just female relationships around you, kind of forming a really quite close bond with that, right? So that's definitely gonna be happening for you too as well. Because I just get this like very nurturing feminine energy around you. So if you haven't had that, you're going to have that. And if you've missed it, you'll have that as well. And if there's a reconnection, that there's someone you want to reconnect with, that will reconnect with you as well. It just feels like a very nurturing, motherly energy. It doesn't feel like mom, but it feels like a motherly energy. Let me pull some oracles. So that's good change, a lot of movement, right? So I sense move, so you just moved, and that means there'll be some more travel, like I said before. It's like a small little mini change in your life, you know? So. Yeah, Janet, I closed the questions down because I have to end the live, so that was the last one. So she can come back next session because I got to wrap it up. I've went so much overtime. So this will be the last one. The questions are closed, but she can definitely for next week. Or she can book a private session. Yeah, I mean, a lot of travel. So again, if you're looking for nurturing relationships, Christina, they're coming. And a lot of this movement's creating a lot of more blossoming in your life, right? And they're saying this: you've entered a time in your life, like, I'm doing what I want to do right now. This is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean? Okay. I've had a theme as well as my mother. Haven't heard from her in some time. Love. Oh, well, guess what? Then you might be reconnecting with her then, too. That's another reconnection with the mom energy in here. So I feel like you reconnect with that mother energy. Or you'll meet someone that has a very nurturing mother-like energy for you. I just feel that feminine energy that, like I said before, you didn't have before. I feel like it's going to come around you. You'll start feeling that a lot more, of that nurturing feminine energy. Okay? And go with it. Yeah, I mean, that's good, but they're saying that the change of this, Christina, is the fact that you've been standing with your own will. You've been saying, I'm doing what I want to do now. I'm looking out for myself, saying that's the whole point. Because no one else was, now you are, and now you will start meeting people that will. I mean, I don't get this card a lot, but you got the purity card. You have a very pure soul, very pure intentions in your life. Clearly, I didn't need the card to tell me that, but you have very pure intentions, a very pure soul. And you're blossoming. Look at the 33 on that too. Right? This has been the phase for you. You have been evolving. You have been blossoming. You've been going based on what is best for you. So you'll be connecting with that mother energy. Well, you again, that's coming in your life, love. They're saying that's coming in your life. This very nurturing energy you're going to find through either external relationships or through your direct relationships with family. So that's coming in this next chapter for you, okay? And the movement and even the travel, okay? I keep seeing Hawaii. You're going to go to Hawaii, okay? I just can't get Hawaii. Even when I first pulled a card, Hawaii was in my mind. I just thought that just as a representation of travel, but Hawaii keeps sticking with me as a connection for you. So you'll be also connecting with Hawaii or taking a trip to Hawaii as well. Okay. All right, guys, we're shutting down. I don't know if people have added Shayla. I missed Shayla. I skipped over Shayla. Okay, let's do Shayla really quick. Sorry, Shayla. Got you. You were third to last. So let's get the card pull and then we got to close down. This is for Shayla. Okay. And I'm exhausted. My back's hurting from sitting here. Yes. Okay. It's for Shayla. Yeah, I love that for you, Christina, because I just feel like this wonderful feminine energy coming and surrounding you through relationships and just like completing that nurturing within you. And again, Spirit's saying it's because you've been saying, I'm looking out for me. I'm just going to do what I want to do. It's because of this you've been elevating and finding the worth within yourself, which is now going to attract it and fall in your lap. I love that. I love that. It was very specific with that nurturing energy. You deserve it. You deserve it. No, Shayla, we got you, babe. I made a mistake. I jumped one over. I'm sorry. I'm human. I overlook stuff sometimes, but I'm not. I usually don't, but it can happen. So I'm glad you spoke up. because I get tired. Oh, interesting. Let's see what this is talking about. Remember, the cards are general, but I have to tap into what they're specifically talking about. So when I read these, I have to look into that. Something ended, Mrs. Shayla. I don't know if this is a past relationship that ended or something just ended, like you're defeated. You got the will card too. This is interesting. Okay. This might be general. So either you literally just got out of a relationship or feel defeated because of a very dishonest relationship. Or it's just a theme of the past. Okay? And so I feel like after that defeat, you've picked yourself up from this. But I feel like you kind of isolated yourself because of that defeat and the illusions that people were presenting to you, this past relationship that, you couldn't do anything about it any longer. And so what they're saying is that there's going to be some quick movement for you. And you're going to have everything that you need conditionally and also, I would say, financially. So I don't know if this is talking about a relationship in financials, or they're just saying because of this defeat that you've overcome with this relationship and these illusions, that things will start quickly coming into your experience, almost like the blessings will start falling back in. It sounds very general to me or cliche, but it's true here because I'm definitely seeing that you've been taking action to get over this past relationship or past chapter of defeat. And by your very acceptance of that, that's why things will start happening quicker, like fast success. And they keep showing me financials too. So I almost feel like that this is also going to help you to increase your financial stability. So either that money comes from the situation, or you actually are allowing yourself to find the value that money just starts kind of finding you because of what you've been suppressing. So that's actually very positive to me. And they're saying you found the balance. I don't know what was before that was so imbalanced, or I don't know what defeated you. I don't know what the situation. It feels like a relationship for me. It feels like there was a lot of dishonesty, and that because that you found the balance, and now things start pouring in. You'll start realizing you have everything that you need. Almost like your soul is allowing life to manifest the things that you have been withholding for so long. So they're saying that's going to start coming on in for you. Ace of Cups. I mean, I can't even go. And look, and the Justice. So there's some legality too. All right, there's some legality in relation to this. So maybe you will find that there's some sort of monies that you're entitled to as well from a previous situation. Ace of Cups to me is all about creativity and abundance. So there's abundance energy around you, love. I think you're going to start reaping what you've been sowing, okay? And that abundant energy will start flowing in. That's... Because again, this is feeling I'm done. Yes, because that's what this is all about. Defeat, being defeated. I'm done. I'm over it. Changing the paradigm. So there might be also legality that you might have justice on, or some sort of legal issue that will actually provide you some sort of resource too. I don't know. To me, it's all talking about flow of abundance coming through, and you finding the balance of this. It seems predictive to me. So that's good change. Good change. I feel like the past situation of defeat was karmic, and so you've almost like finished a karmic phase. So therefore, things just start falling. When we finish a karmic phase, shit just flows on through, right? And I think that's what this is saying. That defeation, that feeling of defeat, and what defeated you was karmic. You've experienced it. You've accomplished it. Now it's time to move forward, and the blessings will start coming on in. I always hate saying things like that. Oh, blessings will start coming on in. It's like so vague, but it's true. I think you'll start realizing about your life, and I've experienced that in my life when I finished karmic lessons too. Things just open up, and so that's a good message for you there, Shayla. Good, Rochelle. Let me see here. Where did you send it? Yeah, I went through, answered all of them. I don't see Rochelle in here. Let me try PayPal. And I have to close this down too, but I don't see. Hold on a second. Abusive partner. That's exactly what I was saying. The illusions. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense, Shayla. Yeah, Rochelle, I didn't get anything. It wasn't here. Okay. I looked at the Venmo, don't see it. I don't see it, love, here. Make sure you send it to the right Venmo, love. The first half was Daryl, Noel, Sydney, Chelsea, Elevate, Rochelle, Ella, Tommy, Michelle, Sydney, Renee, Shayla, Elisa, Christina. That's who I have on there. I don't have anything from Rochelle on here. Okay. So it didn't go through. Make sure you send it to the right Venmo, and I have to shut down over time. Maybe the next live, because I'm tired. My back is killing me, unfortunately, guys. It's taking so much out, and I don't want to do half-ass reads. But yes, Rochelle, I didn't get a payment. Make sure it's the right Venmo. Email me if you did. I'm not seeing here. I went through every single one in order, and I got to shut down. Okay? Guys, it's been a blessing. I am tired. My back is killing me in this chair. If you guys want to book a one-on-one session with me, of course, as you know, it's scottcruzpm.com. One-on-one sessions are more thorough, more in-depth. As you can see, even with the little cards, it's more in-depth. And so, again, offer life readings, mediumship sessions, intuition builder, all that great stuff. And sorry, Rochelle, we'll get you next time. Please make sure you didn't send it to the wrong person, okay? Because I hope someone else isn't getting your money. But I don't have it here. I checked all that. And, of course, I would definitely have gotten you if we had you. I wouldn't miss you. And I'm just too tired to do it now, and I don't want to be half-assed in my read for you, okay? So I appreciate every single one of you. I will not be streaming on Thanksgiving. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. That's why I said this is my last live before December. So I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will pick up the first week of December. I look forward. I will miss you guys, but we have a lot to catch up on after Thanksgiving. Again, you guys are the gods and goddesses of your own myth. You have been wonderful tonight. Appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful and blessed evening. Much love and enjoy my song culture.